Hey there, thank you so much. Once again, it is time for the Golden Age at DC Comics 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been serving my coffee table ever since, and a constant source of great comic book shop style conversations, and the kind that I'm looking to recreate today here with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm very grateful and blessed that you have tuned in. Turn on those notifications. It's a great way to learn how to tell time. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Daily. Cheers, you know. The Golden Age at DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age from 1956 until 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby, from 1970 until about 1985. And then comes the Copper Age, and I get at 1985, and I get these definitions from the glossary in the most current Overstreet comic book price guide. This is great to have for any comic books fan. I'll also throw these 2 books under your nose. There are links to all 4 of these books in the description to their Amazon pages, where you can purchase your own copies, new or used. You know what I mean? And yeah, used books. Give an old book a second life. You know, seriously, and you won't pay a full price. Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. This is a wonderful, wonderful history of comic books. It's art history, and it's about sequential art and about storytelling. And it's an amazing experience. This is How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way by Stan Lee and John Buscema. This is a wonderful companion for any comic book fan, superhero fan. It's from the inside looking out, and I cherish all of these books, you know. Let's get to it. I use this book for its intended purpose. It's a 365 days book. I'm going to open up to today's date, which is September the 19th. We are going to look at some comic book art from an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. Totally. You know what goes great with that? This coffee table book? Well, a cup of your favorite whatever. This is my cup of Java. It's the Ethiopian Guji. It's a really, really awesome coffee. I love it. So pull up to the coffee table. Bring a cup of whatever. You're welcome here. Join us, please. Salut. Slancha. Skol. Cheers. Indeed. All right, let's get to it. I also usually throw in something called the escapism caveat. It's going to be over here at the end of the show. I made its own video to air it out a bit. I gave it its own space, its own place. And it's important, in my humble opinion, especially with comic books, the needs of activism and agenda and advocacy, and to intersect all of these real-world problems into our fictions, into our spaces of escapism, where we're looking to leave behind the world's problems just for a few minutes, whether it's comic books, tabletop gaming, sports, or church. I mean, all of these spaces are being invaded, and I call it an intellectual colonialism. And check it out, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment. If you think I'm full of crap, let me know, and let me know why. Because honestly, you're the most important part of this show, this interaction, our conversation. Well, let's get to it. It is September the 19th. This is story by Gardner Fox, art by Martin Nadell from All Star Comics number 28, April-May of 1946.
It's the truth. I'm sorry now I did it. But that can't be undone. All I can hope for is that you can prevent those things I painted from killing. Dun, dun, dun.
And it looks like this guy's laid out. This bad guy. It's painter Nels Farrow makes a deathbed confession to the Flash, Hawkman, and Dr. Midnight. The artist has discovered ancient pigments that can make his pictures come to life, and has used them to plan 6 murders. Now he repents. But can the Justice Society of America defeat this supernatural menace? You bet! And there we have The Flash, we have Hawkman and Dr. Midnight, and art that turns into life. And we have that even more so today, I feel, with the DC EU, the DC Extended Universe, which is the Movieverse, or even more colloquially known as the Snyderverse, one could say as well. There's also the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and this art has been turned to life. It's been turned into moving pictures. We've had real people playing in these parts, and so in effect, that comic panel has turned out true. And but I'm going to focus on the big three of that age in a way, of the Golden Age, and there have always been movies with superheroes all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to talk about Superman, Batman, and Shazam, Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel. And the first of these people to get, first of these characters to get the movie treatment was Captain Marvel. And it was a 1941 black and white movie serial from Republic Pictures. It starred Tom Tyler as Captain Marvel and Frank Coughlin Jr. as his alter ego, Billy Batson. It was adapted from the popular Captain Marvel comic book, then appearing in the Fawcett Comics publication, Whiz Comics, and Captain Marvel Adventures. And so yeah, that was in 1941. In 1943 came the first Batman movie. And it's really interesting. You can see these on YouTube. You can dial them up. And Lewis Wilson played Bruce Wayne Batman. Released July 16th, 1943. And then there was a second feature called Batman and Robin, with Robert Lowry as Batman. And that was released June 26th, 1949. There would not be another Batman movie until 1966, where we had Batman the movie starring Adam West as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Burt Ward as Dick Grayson, the first Robin. And but that is most definitely the Silver Age Batman. Superman, though, had there was a film in 1948, and it starred Kirk Alyn as Superman. And there was also in July 20th of 1950, Atom Man versus Superman, again with Kirk Alyn. And but then Superman and the Mole Men, released November 23rd, 1951. That was the first. You could consider that what got broken up into the two-parter that I would see endlessly on TV. This starred George Reeves as Clark Kent and Superman, and this would become the long-running Superman serial on television that were started in black and white, ended in color, and literally replaced the long-running radio serial. And yeah, so it's about these pigments that come to life. The artist pigments that came to life. And they keep doing so. And so these superhero movies have been going on the entire time. And I think that's pretty awesome. And, good and bad. I mean, there's always something to be looking forward to as a superhero fan if it comes to an animated production, a television production, or a feature motion picture production. And both of these huge universes are represented, the big two, one could say, in these superhero legacies and stories for both Marvel and DC. They've been fleshed out a lot and over again. And you can take the good with the bad, and we can respect adaptation or not. And it must be hard to adapt very old material into something new, because unfortunately for being someone like me, like in this old fandom, that we're not the money that they're looking for. They already got our money in a way, and already that money that we already gave them is probably in effect more valuable than the money we can give them today, because they've already made their interest on it and they've already grown their property on that. So the money that they want today is not just our money that they can live, or they can literally give or take it. I mean, live without it, or live fine with it, with or without it. They want the new market, and so they want to expose people to this great place that we've all grown up on. And how to do that? You need to entice them. You need to welcome them, and by doing so, you need to adapt from the source material, and where you get what we got today. In my fellowship of the fandoms, it's one disappointment after another and one outrage after another. And I for one want to try to at least, sorry, cameraman. Bart, did you fall asleep behind the camera again? Sorry. I intend to at least try to make something positive out of it. If we can't enjoy it, then maybe we should ignore it. I mean, it's being made with or without our permission. And the old fans are the least of their worries. And they have, it seems there's a steel cage, or this steel death trap, of aggressive labeling that seems to, like, it kind of works. Nobody wants to be called a Yahtzee or an ist, a racist, or a phobe, or a bigot. I mean, because that then creates you as the problem, and that's the whole defense mechanism of it. It's really distracting, and it's taken a lot out of me as a fan. But as you can see, how can I not be a fan? I am a fan, and I have a love. And so for me personally, I guess, I'm going to curate what I love. And like as Buddha said, I'm a Buddhist, or I'm a Hindu as well. I diverged from the Christian path a long time ago with Eastern stuff. This isn't Om. This is the super mantra. This is my brand, my thing, right? And Buddha tells me that, take what you need and leave behind what you don't need. And that's the Dharma. That's cosmic truth. So that helps me a lot. My spirituality really helps me in this age of outrage cycle, and of pitting like one side of the fandom against another side of the fandom, and who's the better comic books fan, and the overuse of demonizing the other side as well. It's like, I've had enough, and I'll watch what I watch, and I'll like what I like. And I'm going to leave it there, because we've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Turn on those notifications. Ring that bell. Like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day. And we also talk about cooking. I have a What's Cooking playlist. If Wes from Thinking Critical sent you, just say Doc was right, and you'll get 50% off your next bowl of soup. Ha ha! How is that? I'm a spiritual guy, an ordained minister, an amateur theologian. We get spiritual here, and as we did today, just a little bit. But if I can pay this forward to one person, the value of spirituality and how much it's helped me through gratitude and through purpose, I mean, that it will make everything worth it. God bless you. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. All right? Cheers. Bye-bye.